Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome back to a quick review as we talk about the film Till Death, starring Megan Fox. Now, if you've seen the trailer for this film, you kind of get an idea of what this film is. It's a survival revenge type of film. This film is only an hour and 25 minutes, so it's not a long film at all. But the trailer really shows you a lot of the good scenes in the film. Because I'm telling you, for the first half hour, 25 minutes to the first half hour, it definitely takes a while to get, to build up the things. For that first half hour, you're going to find out that she's not really the most likable character. And her husband, he's not a good guy at all. I mean, right off the bat, you see that Megan Fox is with this gentleman who's not her husband. And, she's breaking it off with him because I think maybe in her mind she maybe wants to try to reconcile with her husband, and it's their anniversary the next day, so her husband and her, they get together. He's a lawyer and he's kind of a shady guy, and they go out for their anniversary dinner. Now right off the bat, I mean, just the way he talks to her, this guy is just, he's not a good guy at all. He kind of puts her down, but it's really hard to tell because with Megan Fox, she's kind of stone-faced in a lot of the films that I've seen her in. I mean, I like her in the TMNT films as April O'Neil, but for the most part, she doesn't show a lot of emotion. Now, she does finally show some emotion later on in this film, but, right off the bat, you just see, there's just tension. There's some major tension between her and her husband. They go out to dinner for their anniversary. He gives her this necklace that will come into play later on in the film. She gives him Super Bowl tickets. Well, what does he do? He's kind of like, I don't really want these. He leaves them with the waitress who waits on them at this restaurant. So he's not a very grateful person whatsoever. But he does have one more surprise for her. He blindfolds her, gets her in a car, and takes her to a lake house that they had been to many times before. Now, to her, she's thinking, okay, he's doing something nice, something kind of romantic here at this lake house, but things are not as they seem. There's going to be a little bit of a spoiler right here, but if you've seen the trailer, you kind of have an idea of what happens. She wakes up the next morning after a night together with her husband, and he kills himself. But why has he killed himself? Well, like I said, he's a lawyer, and he's into some shady things. Now, there's a gentleman that years prior, Megan Fox helped put away in prison for 10 years. This comes into play. If you've seen the trailer, there are the two gentlemen, especially this one gentleman who comes after them, or comes after her, I should say. Her husband, very, very methodical. He knows exactly what his wife has been up to, and he has planned this elaborate scheme because he knows, like I said, he's shady, and he is just about, he's probably going to go to prison because now things have come to light about things that he has done. So, hence, he takes her out, to this lake house, takes himself out, but like he says, until death do they part. And he sets this up for these gentlemen to come after her and take her out. So, like I said, it's a big setup with some twists and turns that do happen, within the film. The action, once things get going, and because when her husband offs himself, she wakes up, and he does that, she is, tied to his, she's handcuffed to him, so she has to drag his body around the entire lake house that they're at. And again, you see her, up the stairs, downstairs, trying to, not even thinking hey, these guys, and then when these guys finally do show up, and now she's got to try to escape them with her dead husband attached to her wrist. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely, things that she has to do in order to survive and try to get away from these gentlemen. It's well done. The action is well done in the film. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably going to give this film a 5 out of 10. It's a middle-of-the-road type of film. You watch it once, maybe you watch it again. But for the most part, my problem is that her husband, again, we know he's done, half hour or so into the film, as far as, his character, except for, her dragging his body around, he's done. But with her, she's not the most likable character. And, you feel some, you do feel, I want to say you feel some sympathy, but I'd be hard pressed to say that. Because, like I said, she's not, both of these characters are just flawed, and they're not the nicest of people. Obviously she's gone through some things with her husband, but maybe the things that she has done, because of her husband aren't exactly the right things either. So both of them, both these characters are at fault. There's definitely, I'm having a hard time finding a sympathy, for either of them. But because, you have this murderer coming after her, now you do want to kind of like hoping that she does survive, just because you get the lesser of two evils. And if you're gonna have one survive, who are you gonna root for? Obviously you're gonna root for Megan Fox. But like I said, middle of the road with this film. 5 out of 10. It's worth checking out. It does look nice with with the snowfall and everything, and the ground just covered with ice, and it's definitely worth checking out at least once. Like I said, once you get past the first half hour, 35 minutes, that's when things really start picking up. The pace starts going faster and faster with this film. So, again, if you have nothing to watch on a Friday or Saturday night, I don't think it's going to be that bad to go ahead and check this out and rent it. I did pick it up. $15 I paid for it at Best Buy. I probably could have waited till it dropped in price a little bit, but the trailer showed. I was interested enough in the trailer for me to pick it up, and I'd heard good things about it as well. But the cover is really, really nice too, with her just like sprawled out on the ice, handcuffed to a hand that's like falling into inside the ice. So I really like that. And the back, a little bit of, here's one of the main villain in the film, and she is just covered with blood, all her husband's blood, just splattered all over, all over her throughout the film. But like I said, it's worth at least checking out one time. So, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you in another episode. Take care.